Hello guys, this is Chris from Bobots Films, and this is our first episode on how to write your Halo Machinima. Getting ready for Halo 4 Machinima? Well, follow this video. I've invested more than a year of my life taking professional advice, tips, reading books, and more on writing, so, maybe that makes me a little qualified. Special thanks to Ronald Tobias for this help as well, or some of it. So let's begin. You should always plan everything out before going into depth into the story. Ralph, he is an office employee. He's a normal man, but it changes one day. He gets shot and his life is at risk. Now stop. Before you go any further, do not discover on why this happens to Ralph. You first want to know if you like your plot. Now does, Ralph end up alive? Does he end up okay? Does his family die? Do they not, as long as it follows your plot, as long as you like your plot, you know that you got, a good basis, a good outline for your story. And this plot is usually about a paragraph long, and it explains what your outline of the story is. And the plot is usually what I would say the driver to the story. Ralph may go to the store, meet a few men, a bunch of alien ships come down, it doesn't matter as long as it follows your plot and he ends up, following the plot, which is getting shot in our case, and his life is at risk in some kind of state. So let's say you like this plot. Now you will need to develop a beginning, middle, and end. It sounds simple, but really it doesn't really end up like that. For simplicity and other reasons, let's just focus on the beginning and doing it the, I guess, more simplistic way. Ralph wakes up one morning. He discovers he's late for work. Alright, so character development must form at this time, in the beginning. So the goal must be told too. What does our Ralph want? What does he or she want? Well, our Ralph wants a promotion at work. For your story, however, what does, he or she want? Does he want to become a, Sergeant Grade 2? Does he want to find his father? Whatever. Once you find your plot, your hero personality, and what he or she wants, your story has already began. You have started the so-called journey to the epicness of your story. At some point in this part, you probably will need to introduce a conflict. Definitely, there needs to be a conflict in your story. Otherwise, nobody will enjoy your production or, writing thing. Sooner or very soon you will need to do that. A force must act upon the character. This force, would usually make the character leave home. Doesn't have to specifically. Then the motivating incident occurs. Now this is a motivation part that, this could actually act as the bridge from the beginning to the middle. Your character should move from one state to another throughout your story, especially from everything that's been happening, or so to speak. Ralph realizes Mickey, his competition, is getting more approval from his boss. He's more friendly and outgoing with his coworkers, though Ralph gets a little bit mad at him and he kind of feels like giving him a talk, so Ralph decides to stalk Mickey home, and he sees him hitting his wife near deadly level. She has 2 black eyes, or so to speak. Ralph begins to start the engine to leave because he is panicking to see, the big nice guy around the office is beating his wife. However, Mickey sees him and they make eye contact. The middle begins. The conflict begins. The character should want something but end up learning what they really want from experience in their journey. Ralph later learns on. Now here's a little spoiler alert in our little journey here. Ralph realizes after everything he's been through, he realizes that he just wants to have the comfort of his family, and he's just happy with his job, and he doesn't want to deal with any of this. He's just happy where he is. Though we don't really, find that out. Ralph doesn't find that out until way later. The hero needs to have a strong mental image of what they want at first, and in the beginning we should learn a whole lot about Ralph and his attitude, weaknesses, and abilities, and perhaps his special abilities that can end up saving him later on. This is also a great time to develop your ending so you can begin foreshadowing parts. So for example, Ralph in the beginning of the story, very beginning, he walks up to Mickey and kind of pretends to be nice to him and says, "Oh hey dude, how are you doing today? Lousy day at the office, huh? Hardly got any sleep. I was watching the bowling game." And Mickey says, "Oh yeah, that was real fun." And then he realizes that maybe Mickey was lying to him, or he found out that there was like a couple droplets of blood on his fist, or something, just a little clue that you don't really understand at first, but maybe if you rewatch it or something happens again later on in the story, you realize, wait a minute, that's what that was used for. You see just some kind of, foreshadowing little mystery in it that you realize on later on. Well, that is it for the video, though. If you enjoyed this, please thumbs up this video. That is always appreciated. Now, if you're working on a machinima or a little short story, maybe you're stuck on something, maybe I can help you out. Post a comment below if you are having trouble or any other ideas you have out there. So this has been Chris. See you later.